Hi Year 12. Today's video relates to exercise 8C in our textbooks and looks at simple and compound interest. Now you would have seen simple and compound interest for the first time in Year 10, but you may not have done that in a lot of detail, so may need to look at what that means again. So interest is money that is paid regularly at a particular rate for the use of money lent or for delaying the repayment of debt. And we're going to consider two forms. The simple interest only considers the initial amount of money and can be calculated using a linear function or arithmetic sequence, and the compound interest is updated to reflect changes in the current balance and is calculated using an exponential or geometric function series. So we're going to look at some different things like PA. PA means per year. So if your interest rate is 5% PA, then it's 5% per year. If you're earning $60,000 PA, you're earning $60,000 per year. Let's have a look at simple interest. The simple interest formula is I equals PRN. So I is interest, P is the principal or the initial amount of money that you're going to invest, R is the interest rate per period, and N is the number of periods or the time. The rate and the N have to be in the same time. So one's in years, the other one's in years. One's in months, the other one's in months. Noting this answer for this question will only give us the interest. So if we want to find out how much we actually have, we need to add that to our principal to get our final answer. So let's look at this. Joan invests $3,000 at 5% per annum simple interest. So it needs to tell us the kind of interest in the question, and that's for 2 years. Find how much interest and the total amount she's made. So whenever you see simple interest, you need to pop that formula down. It's not on your HSC formula sheet, so you need to know that. Our principal is the amount that's invested or borrowed if it's a loan. It's $3,000. Our rate is 5%. Now 5% is 5 over 100 if we write it without the percentage sign, which is the same as 0.05. And I'm going to work in decimals because it's going to make it a lot easier for us. And the time period is 2. Noting the rate is in years, the time is in years. So I equals PRN. We're just going to times these three values together, and we're going to get an interest of $300. That means she now has the original $3,000 plus $300 interest. So she's got $3,300. So they're fairly straightforward questions, and they would be an arithmetic progression. The main ones we're going to have a look at in advanced maths, though, are going to be compound interest questions. And what happens with compound interest is you're getting interest each time period, and that's being added on to your principal amount, and then your next round of interest is being added on to the new amount plus the interest. So it's growing exponentially. The formula for this is on your HSC formula sheet. First page right at the top. A equals P, 1 plus R to the N. Because we have a power up here in the N, it takes the form of a geometric progression. P is the same as in the question above. P is our principal or the initial amount. N and R are the same. N's our time period and R's our rate. And these need to be in the same period in terms of years or months or quarters, whatever we're depending on. The difference with compound interest is this formula gives us our new amount that includes our interest. So to find out what our interest is, we need to take away what our new amount is and our principal, and we're going to get our interest from that. So let's have a look at a question. Find the final amount and compound interest. So it's told us it's compound interest earned when $5,500 is invested for 4 years. And the first part is at 7.5%. So we know it's compound interest. So this is our formula here. We've got our principal of $5,500. We've got 4 years and 7.5% per annum. So this is in years and this is in years. So it's a fairly straightforward question. So 7.5% is 0.075, N is 4, and our P is 5,500. So it's a straight pop those values into your equation, and you've got $7,345.08. That's our new amount. We had 5,500, so if we subtract those, we're going to get an interest of $1,845.08. So if you need to pause the video and just double check that, please do that. Now the difference with part B here is we're going to be looking at our interest compounded monthly as opposed to yearly over year. So when our interest is monthly, our time period needs to be converted to months as well. So N is 4 years, that in months is 48 months. Our rate is 7.5%, but that's per annum. So I need to get that divided by 12 and then divide by 100, and I end up with 0.00625% per month. So these need to be in the same time periods. Other than that, once we've done that, the rest of it's going to be the same. We've got our 5,500, our new interest rate, but it's calculated monthly. And here's my new amount. If I subtract that from my original amount, I've got $1,917.30. Now this number here is going to be bigger than our previous number because we're getting our interest calculated more often, in which case we're going to have more money.